going on, everybody? This is Shoot the Shit with Baldy, and I am here with the guys from Sons of Cain.
What's up, everybody?
How's it going?
Been up to? What's been going on?
Well, Levi.
A lot of writing going on in our little camp. We, as you may know, we have just released our first album earlier this year, and that's going really good. But we're already to the point of working on the next one.
How many tracks you guys got so far for the next one?
We have 4 right now that are not fully structured, but we're on the short rows as far as that goes.
Right.
We're getting to that point. And then we got another one that Ross has got. He wants to donate. Which is I don't know why I said that. He doesn't really want to donate. It's just that Ross writes a shit ton of songs.
Oh, he's always going.
And he just says, hey, if there's anything that catches your eye and you want to do, let me know. So that's probably a tentative 5th song.
Yeah.
And then there's...
I've seen he just got sponsored, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's he? You want to throw them a shout out?
XL Drumsticks and Soul Tone Cymbals.
Awesome.
Ross recently got endorsements from both of those
Awesome.
companies, and I don't know anything about drumsticks, but I know he says that the secondary striker on his drumsticks they sent him is fucking great.
Nice.
So if you haven't heard of XL, check them out.
Awesome.
And his cymbals, once again, I don't know shit about drums, but I know he's really, really happy with them, and they sound better than what his other ones did.
Yeah.
So you should definitely check them out too.
I can tell you they sound great, and they're loud as fuck. I know that much.
That's always a good thing.
Yes.
Being a bass player, I always hated Derek's drums. Derek Anthus was our drummer for Spirit of Chaos. And oh my god, to this day my left ear is tone deaf from that fucking crash.
Yeah.
And he drilled holes in that crash. I think it was the crash that he drilled holes in, and oh my god, it sounded craziness. We were expecting trash can lid, but oh no, it made it sound so great. I'm like, Derek, you're one step away from Lars's fucking St. Anger drum kit. You keep it up. So, but
Yeah,
back to the music you guys got coming out.
Levi's good for coming up with riffs and ideas and stuff, and luckily for us, it's the age of cell phones and social media, so we can share our ideas with each other since we're all pretty well spread out.
Yeah, you guys are spread out.
Yeah.
Like an hour away from
About
everybody.
an hour.
Yeah.
Between Edgewood and Sullivan over to Mattoon, and I'm like dead center and all those.
So where are you at?
I'm in Windsor.
And where are you at?
Edgewood.
So where's Corey or Willie?
Willie and Ross are both in Mattoon,
Yeah.
and then Duke lives in Sullivan. So
Okay, because the
we're
reason
like
I ask is on your profile it says Centralia.
Centralia.
It still
It
says
does?
Centralia on your profile.
Really?
Yeah.
We'll have to check
For
into
the
that.
band, for the band.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I think so. If it didn't get changed recently, I haven't looked at it.
It used
in
to
months.
say Effingham.
I think so.
We
Yeah.
basically just, I figured Effingham's a good spot because
I figured
it's
you
kinda
would be
in the
one that's
middle.
in
who knows
Centralia.
who the hell is in Windsor. No, I'm not in Centralia. I think I've just been through there. I don't think I've ever actually been to Centralia.
I gotta watch my laughing on this episode because we shot one with Abaddon, and apparently my laugh kills people's speakers. So I'm gonna send a shout out to Seeger from Sky Dweller. He listened to the Abaddon episode, and literally he posted underneath it in a message or a thread in the comments. He was like, "Listen to Baldy's podcast. Speakers blow due to Baldy's laugh. Car catches fire, explodes the world." So I have a very maniacal, fucking loud ass laugh.
Just laugh at your tower. And
Yeah.
bounce back
Turn
off
your
the
head and
tower. Give it a little effect.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, Duke is a riff machine also, along with Levi, and Duke will sit over there and just mess around while he's waiting on everybody else to get our ducks in a row.
Yeah.
Crank out 15 riffs that he forgot as soon as he played them just because he's messing.
Yeah.
And he can pretty well play just about anything he hears once he listens to it a couple times.
That's
so.
the way I am on bass. If I need to learn anything, just send me the track and I'll figure it out. If not, I'll fill.
And we find ourselves in like a spot sometimes where we're hung up on our riff, and we'll go upstairs and take a cigarette break. Me and Duke and Levi,
And Ross usually
Ross
he'll
will,
get off the drums while we're smoking and pick up one of the guitars, and he'll just
Yeah.
finish the
We'll
song
be-
for
we'll be
us.
standing up there
Here, this is
messing
what you need to play.
Yeah.
Okay.
it's great because we have and Duke talks about this all the time, but we basically got 5 guitar players
Yeah.
in a band, so we're riff heavy. And Ross,
Which explains a lot considering, all I gotta say is the fucking boomerang. Motherfucker, guys. I seen that for the first time at this past show you guys didn't hear. And
Yeah.
fuck me, what a song.
Well, let me hit my next point then. Willie is responsible for the majority of Boomerang, I would say. Yeah, old Squid Willie.
Fuck,
Yeah.
oh my god, dude.
Squid
Rubber
Willie
hands.
thing. Yeah, dude.
Rubber hands, man. That
That guy-
motherfucker's a beast.
Man, it is a joy to work with Willie when he comes with, like, you know, his mindset on doing something that day.
He's very, very quiet and outspoken at a show. I have noticed that because he'll look at me, I'll look at him, and then he doesn't even like nod or anything. He's just like in the element. I can tell that he's trying to get his mindset for being on stage and shit. So I don't ever interrupt that because I know what it's like. Because every bass player, every musician has their own fucking path to getting on stage and playing.
Oh, yeah.
Like I remember when SOC, and it's funny because SOC is Sons of Cain and it's also Spirit of Chaos, but. My band, SOC, we would fucking, Spirit Chaos, we would fucking go to play pops, and we would literally, I remember the first time we played, 3 of the 4 members had to have a pregame dump. We were all so nervous they ended up with the shits. I'm over there like guzzling.
Right? That's what I used to do. I used to like, oh boy, this is going to be a good show. I should drink a ton of beer real fast. And I get up there, I'll be like, oh God. There's no wonder I used to throw up after like every show. I had like a reputation for, as soon as the last song would be done, I'd be like, thanks for coming out, and hurry up and go outside, puke in a bush, puke in the alley. You know, and it wasn't like it was.
It sounds like a song title.
It was just
Puke in a bush.
That's funny you should say that. But yeah, it was just all that beer got shaken up and everything, and then water, and it sucks. But yeah, like
plus you're
lyrics to
trying
an
to
old song we used to randomly change for fun, like, you know, beer in my hair or puke in my hair. Add to there instead of what it was supposed to say, just because it was such a constant thing. Like sometimes if it was a really important show, it'd be before and after. You know, I get up there and I already look like hell, and I already have puke in my hair, and like, everyone's like, "What the fuck, man?"
I'm starting dreadlocks. Shut up.
Puke locks,
right.
barf lock.
Anyway, yeah, and then anyway, working with Willie, man, it's like he is never satisfied, and I mean that in the best way you could think of it, because
creatively,
he'll lay down like what you would call his groundwork, which is probably close to what would end up on the track if we're going to record it anyway. But when we play in practice, he's constantly looking for a new way to play his part of the song, just to make sure, you know. And I love it. And we told him whenever he joined the band, you know, he came to practice like the first day, and it was, you know, awkward.
It's always.
I think Levi knew of him, but we didn't really like know him. None of us knew him or anything.
Yeah.
And he shows up and, like, you know, he picked up on whatever we were gonna do. And I think the first song we did as a band with those members was "Children of the Grave" by Black Sabbath.
Oh, nice.
But it was more of like a mashup of like Black Sabbath's version and you know, other people's covers of it. You know, but the thing that struck me, it was like it was what sold me immediately, was the whole time we're doing this first song together, all I can hear back there is Willie playing Geezer's part the way Geezer's part's supposed to be played. You know, it's like all the doo-doo-doo and all that all the fucking fucked up finger work that Geezer Butler does, and I was like, no fucking way. Like, I was reading the words. This is a song I've known for fucking years.
Yeah.
You know, it's older than me. And I'm reading along to make sure I don't screw up the words, and he's back there just fucking everything like it's nothing, like he's been, you know, whatever. And I was sold right there. And then we took, Ross has got an old song called Nomad, and that's on our CD. He took that one and just made it a whole new machine.
Right.
I mean, we basically, as far as the other people in the band, Ross and Levi and Duke and myself, well, not myself, I guess, my vocals on it are my style, but the guitar work and the drums is Ross's style. That's the way it was, you know, basically written. But then Willie comes in with this crazy ass all over the place bass line, and just like the whole vibe of the song was completely different from that.
Well, and we also, like, from Ross's version to our version, there was a few little transition parts that got added, and Ross basically wrote the guitar solo that I play, but then I just kind of took it and took what Ross was doing and added my style to it.
Right.
And you get what you hear on the CD, so.
Right.
But.
Which I have.
That song is it goes over really well. It's
that's
How
true.
to find it.
Yeah.
It's actually a design flaw on our part.
I love the CD. I think it's great what you guys are doing because there's not a lot of that style of. I don't know if you guys would call yourself hard rock or heavy metal or. Just, it's kind of a gray area there between hard rock and heavy metal. It reminds me of Sabbath due to Willie. It also reminds me of like Deftones in some of your guitar riffing. It also reminds me of like AC/DC on some of the fucking songs when you guys come in and come out. But your main heavy riffs are thrash style. Like Boomerang. The end of Boomerang is full on thrash.
Oh yeah.
And it blows. Like I will always go back to Boomerang because like I sat there and watched Willie that entire fucking song. And was like, I hate you. I play bass. I hate you right now. Your fucking hands are rubber, dude. It's insane. Is he on a 5-string too?
No.
He's on a 4?
He's on a 4-string Warwick, I believe.
I think he has a 5-string, and for a while there he was practicing with it some. But
I thought he was playing a 5 that night for that song. I can't remember.
I can't remember for sure, but I think like just most of the stuff we're doing, the 4-string just fits better if I remember right.
I'm pretty loud for this.
No, you're good. Everything gets leveled when we get done.
Sorry.
But yeah, like
oh, you're fine.
I like when you say that what our music reminds you of, because there's so many different influences with each of us having all of our own group of bands and stuff that we listen to, that we like to play, that we like pull things from to use in our own style, and then when it comes to the writing, there's so much. All 5 of us have input on it pretty well every song, even if it's like we said, like Nomad was Ross's song, but by the end of it, all 5 of us had input on the way that song ended up as the Sons of Cain song. And it's just there's so much ideas flying and so much. That's how we're already like. Holy crap, this CD here hasn't been out for 6 months yet, and we're already like got a whole bunch of material for the next one, so you know.
It happens like that too, but what I was going to touch on also, it's not just your musical taste that you grew up listening to, it's also that most of us, not myself, but most of you guys that I've interviewed so far, have had multiple bands leading up to the one you're currently in.
Oh yeah.
So you pull from that as well, and when you go to write, you'll think, hey, I'm going to steal a little bit of that riff that I did for XYZ band, and throw it in here.
We actually stole. I'm not going to call it stole. That's stupid. I shouldn't say that. We didn't steal anything. We were in a band. Levi, Duke, and myself were in a band from like 2000. Well, Levi joined in 2013, but from 2011 to 2015. Yeah, 15 or 16. One of those two. We were in a band called War Nerve. It was like the second incarnation of that band. They were from Matt Toon originally. They were a band back in 2004, and then they took like a 7 or 8 year hiatus or something like that, and something was going on.
Right.
Anyway, band got brought back up, and originally it was a guy named Mike Sanders. Our former bass player was Tim Sides.
That name sounds familiar.
Tim's been in a lot of bands.
I
Josh Metcalf was the drummer, and
know Metcalf.
I was the second vocalist for the band. The first vocalist was Josh Golden, but I was the guy they got for that. I actually found their ad in a pawn shop.
Nice.
When Corey Taylor wrote his first book, he was doing a tour, and I bought tickets. So I was stoked. And then I found out like 3 days later that he's doing VIP upgrades for like $75. You get to do pictures and see the pre-show sound check. You get a signed copy of his book. You get a Sharpie with his fucking name on it. All kinds of. And I'm a Corey Taylor fanboy, like hardcore.
Yeah. So am I.
So like, I had to do it. I told my BFF, I was like, dude, we gotta go. Take it to the got to go do this thing. We got to get the cool shit.
Right.
And I went and pawned my head and my pedals.
Oh shit.
My effects pedals. I didn't sell them. I just got them because I knew he was going to get paid. I didn't want it to sell out. That was our initial shock. Was, oh my gosh, they're only this much dollars. They're going to sell out. There's only 50 of them. They're going to sell out for sure.
Fast.
So
and $75 a pop. Yeah, they won't last a week.
So I went and pawned my shit and got it. Well, I went in to pay it off, and I found a fucking one of them little tear tab homemade flyers on a countertop. Said band looking for a vocalist, heavy metal, blah blah blah.
Right.
Gear provided. So,
that's always a plus.
Shit, I was trying to be like a rhythm guitar player. That's what I was looking for, a band for me and my buddy to both be in. And that's what I was after, and didn't work out. I found this other band instead, so got a hold of the guy. He come over and brought me an old demo. He's like, we're going to be doing these two songs. This one's the same, but this one's different. So you just got to learn the words from this, and then you'll figure it out. It's like, okay, whatever.
Kind of off the hip kind of thing.
So I went and got it. Practice was cool. Well, past a few years and got Levi on board, and we played with him, and he was in Deep Six, and
for a while I
that's
did
how we
both bands.
met.
So
he was doing
That's how we initially met.
he was doing
the Mountains One.
both bands.
that's right.
We got him on board and went into like
Done with that?
a writing frenzy, basically. I think we cranked out 5 songs in like
That summer.
it was like 2 or 3 months,
Yeah.
and it was just nonstop. And that was in the middle of playing for gigs, and we had to we only practiced 1 day a week because everybody worked
And-
factory jobs,
and not to
worked,
mention-
like, thirds or something.
However many songs, like what, 5 or 6 songs that I had to get up to speed on in the first couple months, and
Yeah, because whenever he joined, we cut a handful of songs off that the other guitar player he gave us a lot of grief. He's like, we're still just playing our songs. He's like, dude, we wrote 5 new songs this summer with a new guitar player. We couldn't write one with you in a year. Like, come on, don't be like that. If we're playing the songs, we're gonna phase them out. Just chill. But anyway, that band dissolved. A lot of problems happened towards the end of that, and it was just a bad deal. So that was over with. 4 or 5 year run, shitty, whatever.
Right.
we had some good songs though.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
I kept in contact.
That's the main thing a lot of these bands around here forget.
Kevin,
And even my band, my old band, we even forgot it. It's about having fun. It's about a brotherhood. It's about, hey, pick this guy up when he's down.
right?
Being in a band, there's a reason it's called a band.
Oh, we were really good about that for a long time too. And then whenever all that stuff started to fizzle, I'm going to say it honestly. Whenever Levi had to quit, because he had to quit towards the end of that band anyway. But whenever he had to quit, for personal life and stuff, and he had shit he had to do, So that was pretty much the death of the band. Because at that point, the drummer was pretty far spun out, and it was just over. It was a rough time. It sucked. I kept in contact with Levi, obviously. Met
Thankfully.
Ross. Met Ross shortly before that, I think, is how that went down. But anyway, he wanted to start a band, and he was like, "Well, I can play drums, but I want to play guitar."
I'm trying to think of where I met Ross. I met him previously.
He was one of you guys' shows at Ichabod's. I'm pretty sure.
Well,
that was the same time I met him.
what band would he have been in back in like?
Groovetown? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what.
Groovetown.
Yeah, that's right.
The almighty
Okay.
Groovetown.
And
Played with those guys.
yeah, we played some couple different times in Salem with
Did you
them.
play 3? Mellow Mountains 3? I can't remember.
I don't remember which one.
I know
it
one,
actually-
but Groovetown wasn't on one.
I think we only did one of them.
Yeah,
if I remember right.
The first one.
Yeah.
But you guys are a little bit further. Deep Six was located a little more north, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
So it made it difficult for everybody travel-wise for a lot because that show was designed to make sure you guys got a C note in your pocket. No matter what, every band, I had 10 bands, so that's $1,000 going right off the door.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of money to pull off for a bar. And
Oh, yeah.
we pulled it off every fucking year. But Groovetown, I remember going to see them at a Salem show. I want to say it like a Moose Lodge or something.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
I was blown the fuck away by them. Was like, look,
Probably-
I'm fucking doing Middle of the Mountains 3. I want you guys to come down. Met all the guys from it. Me and Jono and Uncle Dave, Ross, obviously, fucking Neil. Well, I don't think Neil was part of that one. Basically, all the guys in that band, especially Ruby. Ruby's a fucking phenomenal bass player as well. Uncle Dave's got some of the most crazy lyrics. Now he's doing Broken Circle. That's what I'm saying. We the Southern Illinois scene, and you guys are knowing now since you guys are mostly based in Central Illinois, and coming down here and finally getting to see the way we run things down here. And I just sit around and fucking record it. I don't have much to do with it anymore. I used to be in the midst of setting up shows and all that, but we don't give a shit. You want to get on stage, get up there and fucking hang out with us, have a good damn time, because that's the way we fucking like to roll it down here. It's fun. You're in the middle of your song, and everybody that's in bands that is in this area knows the fucking song. They'll get up on stage and sing with you. They'll get up stage, fucking star on guitar, whatever.
I have noticed that.
I love that.
And down here for shows.
Ross does it a lot too.
Yeah. Clarence Kellerman is the #1 on that one. He will get up there and scream anything you ever want to do. Just give him a beer.
we always had in Deep Six. We always had a couple of songs that, one. We started out kind of doing covers and stuff and mixing in originals, and then but one of the cover songs that kind of stuck with our crowd that they always wanted us to play was Seasons in the Abyss, and like every time I would have Alan Poe get up there and do vocals on it, and then once I started hanging out with Jess and everything, then I would have Jess get up there too, and it was just always a great time because it's hard enough for me to play and sing that song, and so I was like, hell yes, I don't have to sing this, I can just play it, and I would have both of them guys, one of them do the verse, one do the chorus, and hell, it was a great time. But
so where did you guys get your start in your local scene? What band got it going for you guys to be where you are right now, as far as playing goes? Like, what was your very first band?
Believe it or not, man, I've only been in 2 bands.
Same here.
And not because I didn't try. I was in another band in my junior and senior year in high school, and we basically just played covers. But we were trying to write originals. It was right at the peak of nu metal. You know,
it's like 99, 2000.
Iowa had not yet come out, but whenever it was Iowa came out in the middle of this whole thing basically, and I was just fucking blown away. I love Slipknot, and Mudvayne had just got noticed, and Dig.
Yes.
Well, the birth of Burberding.
Oh my God.
You asked that, and okay, where do I start? Okay, if we go back to my very first band that actually played out anywhere, and believe it or not, our very first gig was at a church.
Oh Lord.
Yes, and they loved it. It was great. It was
That's
kind of crazy, but we had so that first band was Turnspit was the name, and that was during my high school years, and we didn't get real far, but we had a good time. We wrote some music and stuff, and that kind of laid the groundwork for the next band I was in, which was, let's see, I'm trying to think. Yeah, okay. 9 Circles was the next one I was in with my sister as a vocalist. My Alan Poe was a drummer.
Oh wow!
Believe it or not, and my sister's boyfriend at the time, they're married, but Tom, he was the bass player and I was the guitar player, and we actually ended up recording a few tracks, just in his basement and stuff, and on a 4-track tape. It was pretty shitty, but it was good. It was fun, and we wrote some music, had a few good shows, and everybody was, some of the members were kind of at the end of high school and going off to college, and so it kind of fizzled out. But then, at some point, Alan Poe, his brother Brandon, and Adam Leidy had started Lobotomy, and this would have been 2002, 2003, somewhere in there. And I wasn't in that band yet, but they had a different bass player, and one of their first shows. They had like four parties that they were playing at in a month, and like their bass player that they had, he couldn't get out of work for one of them, and they're like, Levi, do you want to fill in on bass tonight? I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll come over. I went over, we ran through the songs real quick. I had a bass that I borrowed and like a little bitty practice amp. So the point was like, okay, we'll just play you through this little. Well, I didn't have anything else anyway, but I'll just play through this little bitty amp. You won't hear me very much anyway. I went and played, had a good time. The original bass player came back and did 2 of the shows that they had booked. I did 2 of them, and then eventually they asked me to be in the band. So that Lobotomy is really where my story kind of opened up,
right,
as far as getting out there and getting any kind of recognition.
Right.
We played like any party that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there was a good run of shows there for a couple of years that, you know, we'd pack everything up in the Jeep, and I remember a couple of times there'd be somebody riding in the very back of it because all the gear was in there. You know, we had so many crazy stories and parties, and there was I don't know, around our area there was a couple of parties that reoccurring parties that got pretty big. Like there was a Reedstock, there was a Beckfest, there was Hemifest, but it was just, that's where my sort of shit started taking off. And then we kind of rebranded the band, wrote all new songs, changed the name to Buried in Black.
Nice.
And that went on for a while. And then simultaneously I start playing with my cousins in Deep Six.
Right on.
And I figured out, okay, I can kind of sing, you know.
Right. It's amazing the growth that happens over those years of playing.
Yeah, and I was playing bass in Buried in Black and Lobotomy.
Right.
And then so I went from being a bass player to being a guitar player / singer, lead singer.
Right.
And went from playing like the, kind of like the new metal, but almost more of the, I don't know what you want to. I'm terrible at classifying music, by the way. But so, and then I went from this heavy stuff to more of like your old school, like Alice in Chains, Metallica type stuff, and Deep Six. We took off. I quit Buried in Black. They went on with Tim Carter as their bass player, and Deep Six had a real long run.
They're still going, actually, I believe.
Well,
they're active, but I don't know if they're jamming.
We're technically active. That's about all I want to say about that. But but anyway,
so, to change gears here a little bit, I've noticed, like, mainly we started talking about what I'm going to bring up here because you guys had a venue closed down. And we've been noticing around here for probably the better part of 5 or 6 years that same thing's happening all over Illinois. And it's making it very difficult for bands to get booked at places right now. Like, I've talked about it several times on the podcast. Just in Mount Vernon, we lost, our Eagles, our VFW, our Moose Lodge. Like, the Eagles is a fucking restaurant now with a clothing shop in the back where they sew shit. The Moose Lodge just recently got bought. Don't know what the hell's going to happen there. They're leasing out office space, so to speak, commercial space. And then our VFW got bought by the library, so now they've like stored all their extra shit in that building. So we've lost places that are rentable venues where you could go in and pay $200 and have the hall do whatever the hell you want with a charge door cover or whatever. The only place in Mount Vernon that you can play at, you guys know of, is the Crossing. for our style of music, first off, and secondly, no other place is big enough to even have a band in there.
Right.
We didn't even know about them.
No, a lot of people don't because she doesn't broadcast that beer garden for our style of music, and it's no love against her. You know, I'm not mad at her whatsoever. She's a businesswoman. She's got to handle her own shit. I own her. But it seems like she could tap into such a huge market around here right now if she broadcasted, hey, we've got a 3,000-foot beer garden. There's an extra stage inside if it rains.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's so much potential for that building, but she wants to tap into the Carbondale scene and get bands that are not necessarily our genre. I mean, you might have some like rock bands in there and shit like that, but they're usually cover bands. Is what she put in there mostly, which I totally get. I mean, a cover band's going to bring you some money, but my main focus on that is what's it like where you guys are, and is there more than just the venue that I know about that's closing up? Is it hard to get booked where you guys are compared to coming down south?
Yeah.
I can.
This has been a topic of amongst our band for a long time.
You were
There's
opening a can of worms.
yes.
I do it with every band. I do it with every band. So.
But yeah, there
And
was.
you yourself with Field of Screams Presents, not to go off brand or anything, but with Field of Screams Presents having the venue that closed, respectfully closed, I will say that. I understand you two have a relationship that's really good, you and the owner.
Gentry's a great guy.
Yeah, I've
Gentry,
yet to meet the guy. I wish I could have. I wish I could have got there before the venue closed.
I will tell you what. That guy put his heart and soul in that place.
Oh yeah.
Now, him and his wife, I believe they didn't have any experience whatsoever as a bar restaurant. As it started out in a smaller place, it was just like a bar.
Right.
I don't even know if they probably served pizza. I don't know. I never went up there. I don't really go to a lot of bars.
Right.
But I ran into Gentry. I think I just was messaging him on Facebook is what it was, because I messaged the Lucky Dog pub itself, and LaDonna was the name of the lady that she used to do all their management stuff. But I got to talking to him and her, and come to find out that dude loves metal. He loves hard rock. He loves heavy music. Like, you know, he's got cousins and friends that do shit like this, and blah blah blah.
Right.
Well, he was like, my dream, you know, and all this stuff was to have a place where music of all kinds can happen and people can have a meal and this and this and this. So he gets this bar, right? And then he builds this awesome, badass beer garden. Fucking cool stage, got a canopy or awning on it or whatever you want to call it. So, you know, it was cool. he redoes the entire inside of this place. This place used to be a bank, so it's got a big vault. All of his liquor got locked in a fucking liquor vault. It was awesome. It was the coolest place. Like, you know, one of the coolest bars that I've probably ever been to, even though I don't go to a lot of bars. And he was a super nice guy. Both of the ladies that I knew that helped him run the place were really nice people, and they all had the best of intentions, right? Trying to kind of find their spot and everything. And I'm sure it's not just one town. I'm sure there's lots of towns that are like this, but sometimes their places are cliquey, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes people are kiss asses, and once again, like you said, they're a business and they have to be that way. But sometimes you don't have to be that way all the time, right? And that's kind of like the point I always have when it comes to, like I said, this is a can of worms with me. When it comes to people and cover bands and that stuff, it's like, you know, I get it, you're a business, and I understand that you're in it to make money and make sure that you're able to sustain business. But when you make money hand over fist on certain bands all the time, you get to a point where, you know, you're going to keep doing that because it's drawing in a bunch of money. And that's kind of like my point when I say, you know, take a chance and book original bands, even if it's just once a month. Yeah. You know, once a month. We can cram like 6 people in there of varying, 6 bands in there of varying styles. You know, and try to meet everybody.
It feels like it's 6 people when we bust our ass fucking advertising.
Try to like, you know, try to get a nice spread of stuff for people to listen to. You know, you're gonna hear stuff you don't like, but that happens on the radio, man. You know? And not every cover band shows up and plays every single song you like.
Exactly.
Successful cover bands do.
Yes.
They know
what works in their region.
They know what to play to make sure they are successful. Yes. The problem I have with our scene in our area is a lot of these people, because of the boost in business, will book any and every cover band over any and every original band because they want the money. Well, all these bands or all these people find out, well, fuck this, these guys make $1,500 for a show. We could do that for, you know, 5. We could do that for 6. Yep. And then you show up and they do that, and it's maybe not as cool, you know, as the band that's making a bunch of money doing it, right? And it's not, this isn't every one of them either. There's a lot of bands that are really good at what they do. There's a lot of bands that I fully appreciate watching whenever I get a chance to see them. Superbad's one that I fucking love watching, but I don't really go out of my way to watch them. Right. And they make a lot of money for doing like swing or whatever it is versions of songs. You know, they're pretty cool. Black Swine's another one. They do heavy metal. They are pretty awesome. I mean, I'm pretty sure they even have fucking pyro now. You know,
that's awesome.
They do.
And it's a good time watching them do their thing, and I understand fully why they make good money for doing what they do. But not every band is that.
No,
and then you get all these
argument,
you get all these venues that have all these different bands coming because they're pretty sure that this investment's going to make them a huge chunk of money. Well, if not every band is as good as X band, then eventually people are, you know, you're going to pay a bunch of money and people may not show up. Right. You know, and then you lose that money, and then they're like, oh, fuck this shit. If I can't even make money off a cover band, I'll just get a fucking DJ or something like that. Yeah. And then everybody gets screwed. Yeah. So it's like, if you help us out, we can book shows and get some more people generated to come and check our stuff out, which means you're going to have a better night. Because if heavy metal fans do anything, they fucking put some booze away.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And if you want to get a good night, you get a welcome on the show.
Is trying to get people. Here's the biggest thing that I'm seeing of traveling all over Illinois in this past year, rebranding my sim page. What I've noticed more than anything is the bar. You guys, okay? Sons of Cain books a show at XYZ. We'll just call the name of the bar XYZ. So you guys book a show with these guys. You guys create the flyer. You email it to them, bring it to them in person, whatever the case may be. They put it on their wall. You might be lucky enough for that bar to set up an event. Now, I'm not talking about the bar that just recently closed from Field of Screams' side of view. I'm talking about any damn bar out there. Mm-hmm. They'll book a show with you guys. Okay, it's 2 months out. You guys got time to market the hell out of it. Yeah. Bands in this area, bands in your area will put more emphasis in marketing for one show than that bar that you've booked with for a whole year, their marketing schemes. Yeah. They don't push it. They don't have anybody out there that is pushing that. That's where I have always tried to come in and push you guys' shit every fucking where. Well, I'm part of like 6 different fucking groups, my own page. Close to 1,500 people see every single video I put out. I think you guys' video just hit like 350 from Boomerang, shit like that. But the bars are, to me, I think the argument is not the bands are the reason. To me, it's the bars not promoting in an appropriate manner. When I did Metal in the Mountains, it is a team.
I think it's a team effort.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it's one person's
multiple
fault.
times that I think the bar should be held responsible for at least 4 times a month. If you've got 2 months out before this gig is going to go down, which is a good time frame. Most of us don't get that. Most of us, hey, we just booked a gig. We got 3 weeks. Let's practice. Let's get our set list right. Let's get our rehearsals done. Whatever the case may be. But if you can get the luxury of a 2-month, I keep hitting the table, it's going to fuck with this thing. If you can get the luxury of a 2-month out booking, then the bar should be held to at least 4 times in those 2 months. Like 8 attempts to push it virally on Facebook. Hand out flyers. Hey, you came in and you bought a burger. Here's a mini flyer. This is the shit we got coming up this next month. Being very, very vocal on viral media is the #1 marketing tool right now. I know this because I'm a marketing analyst for a company in Zendrea right now. If you don't push it, they don't know it. And if you don't get people to come to that show, it's the same as if I don't get people to show up on that website and spend 6 minutes browsing.
Right.
You're not going to sell anything. And you guys are selling music. You're selling your name. You're selling your brand. You're selling that bar's name. You're selling that bar's brand. You're selling that bar's materials that they have in there.
Yep.
If you don't do it, if they don't do it, and you guys don't hold them accountable for it when it needs to be in a polite manner, because there are some bars out there that are just understaffed. There are some bars out there that don't have people that don't even know how to set up a Facebook event. Right?
Yeah.
You know, and it's literally no disrespect towards the bars, the venues, the people that help run it, their marketing skills. It's just simply it needs to be done better. You can't expect a band to come in, 6 people show up, they watch the band play, and then you're going to hold the band accountable when all you did was put a flyer on the fucking wall?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's not cool.
So I say it's a team. Failure is a team thing just as much as success is. And that's what, you can have the band who promote, share your ass off, and your members are sharing a bunch of stuff, and now Facebook's super convenient these days. If you get tired of seeing your friends, post, you snooze them for 30 days.
Yeah.
It happens all the time. I'm sure I've been snoozed a bunch of times.
I'm an asshole more times than I can think.
Fucking asshole on Facebook because I don't fucking take Facebook seriously.
Right.
I mean, you can take my one wholesome post, but it's also been like just gang beaten by like 100 more shitty posts. And, I shit post like a son of a bitch because I don't give a fuck about Facebook. It's fucking stupid. It's a huge pain in my ass. I wish it, and the problem with it is that like you almost have to have it because I mean you can totally live off the grid, but being in a band. If I wasn't in a fucking band, man, I wouldn't even have a Facebook.
In my position, being in marketing for you guys, because that's what I do. I honestly come to the realization this last 8 months, that all I am is a marketing brand. People, I've just recently, and I'm not going to name names or anything like that because I don't want to be disrespectful to the person that's involved. He's a good friend. He's a dear friend. I've known him for years. But he does a barbecue, and it's more like a party. Everybody gets together, and we mesh everyone together into this basement, and we jam out. And he recently, like this morning, I got a post that was about, hey, I'm going to throw the sim on this flyer for this party. And I'm like, no, I'm not part of throwing shows. I don't want people, and like I said, it's no disrespect to him whatsoever. I'm going to be at the party, but I don't want people to get the idea that I'm back into booking shows again.
Right.
And throwing my name at the top of the flyer automatically makes that happen.
Yeah.
I had another company that you know quite well, Unity, throw me a shout out on a live video. Norman Lucas threw me out on a shout out because I was texting him or talking to him in the thread while he was going live, and he wanted me to help sponsor, with a million other people, sponsor a Unity Nut Separation show. I'd be down to come in and cover that whole damn thing for him, but I don't necessarily like or want my name to be on that particular show because there's been bad business on my end due to some of the stuff that I've had to do. I've had a couple of shows where I had to ditch because there was fights breaking out and I wasn't able to pay the bands. There's been some nightmarish shit that happened. I also had one of my own bands, think that I put more attention into the sim than I did into our band, which on my end felt false, and I would never ever do that. If I'm in a band, I'm full on in that band. It has nothing to do with the sim. I've had bands come to me and say, hey, this is our show, you need to put us on there because you played the first 3 years. When I'm about diversity, getting more bands in, getting new bands in, getting bands that people haven't heard. Like when I come to see you guys play in Sullivan, I think it was. I think it was you guys. I think the first time I seen you guys was at the bar there. I believe it was in Sullivan. It has a great big open floor, and then the stage area, and then a bunch of gaming machines on the side. I can't think of the name of the damn bar.
It was either the Landing or Night Owls, one of the two.
Night Owls. And that's where I come to see you guys the first time, and after that, I noticed Field of Screams was firing up. I didn't know if this was an old project or not, because I'd never heard of it before. But I was so happy to see other people taking parts of what I love doing and going, I'm going to fucking do this shit.
Right.
And you guys did it. You guys flipped it on me. You guys went from not just covering bands, but you guys went to fucking promoting bands, and then you guys went to booking bands for your own shows, which is fucking awesome. I felt so happy to see that fucking kind of material happen.
Dude.
And then I gave you guys an invite, like, come down to fucking Mountain Mayhem. I almost said Metal in the Mountains. But I was like, dude, you guys got to come down and check out Mountain Mayhem. And then you guys came down, and our scenes collided. And you guys loved what we do down here. I love the music coming out of that fucking area. I mean, Grace Divide, Sons of Cain, Syraxis, God knows, fucking, we were just talking about Electric Bear Trap this morning. Fucking all these different bands. And Electric Bear Trap is from fucking, I think, Carbondale area, if I recall.
Is it?
Yeah, there's so many bands that if we all just get our cogs together, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We can fucking make it mesh so well down here. And there's a lot of bands around here that are getting pissed because, like, one of my friends' bands right now, what I was a part of for a while, they had a show in St. Louis at a bar that's well known there, and I'm not going to throw names. But they were kind of pissed because they felt like they had to buy out their tickets, and that's the way it is.
Yeah.
Pay to play. If you want to be right behind those fucking touring acts, you got to buy out those damn tickets.
You know what?
But what I'm getting at is it goes along the lines of everybody expects to get notoriety in the St. Louis scene. And this has been going on for so fucking long that our bars down here are dying.
Yeah.
We're not booking with them, so they go and pick up the fucking cover bands. They go and pick up the shit DJs. Because the DJs around here are not the DJs that I used to sing.
As far as St. Louis shows go, with my experience with talking to the people that holler at us about those shows is, I think it's pretty much all in who gets a hold of you. Because
as far as the venue?
Yeah, because we played like, what I guess I would consider in my top 2 favorite venues in the St. Louis area. We played at Foo Bar. We opened for this band Tetrarch. They were fucking phenomenal. I never even heard. I mean, Ross had heard of them. He'd seen them with Devil Driver, but I'd never actually heard of them.
I've heard of Tetrarch.
And so they were really cool, and they were really nice people. And we actually met this other band from Nashville, 3 Minutes to Live. Those guys, man, they fucking slayed.
Tennessee or Illinois?
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yeah, they fucking slayed.
That's a place everybody needs. In this area, if you want to fucking get notoriety, go to fucking Tennessee.
You know what? They said no. They said
I'm saying
as
metal,
far as hard
outskirts.
rock and metal is, they said it's so hard to book there. They were driving to
you got to tag along.
oh god, they were driving to Alabama, like 5 hours away for shows and shit, and then they were going to St. Louis, and they were going to come to Windsor and play. We were going to play with them.
Is that the show that got
the one that got canceled?
canceled?
Yeah, that was a Lucky Dog show. That was gonna be badass,
I wish I could have got to go into that place and see it because the pictures online did not do it justice from what you guys were talking about.
It was cool, and they just built on a dining area too. It was awesome. Anyway,
Well, I'd like
that experience for that show. Bob got a hold of us through our band page, and he was like, "Hey, do you guys want to pick up a show on this date?" I think it was a Friday night, wasn't it? It was one of the ones where we were worried about it because Duke and everything.
Well,
it's vacation days, but
Right.
we didn't have to pay to play that one, and it was cool. But the one we were
Was
actually
it a major venue?
it was Foo Bar.
Oh, Foo Bar,
I love that place.
Right. No, I'm not saying you have to pay.
We were the same venue though. We were booked to play through a different guy, and it was supposed to be about 13 days before the one that the owner asked us about. And that guy, the other dude, not Bob, the other guy, he wanted us to pay $150, which means sell 10 tickets basically, to play that gig.
Yeah, because they used to run it where you bought your tickets through them, and then you were responsible for selling your tickets at whatever price.
When Robert got a hold of us,
That was like early 2000s.
he was just basically like, "I'll send you some tickets. If you sell them, cool. If you don't, whatever, man." He's like, it's basically how you get gas money back.
Yeah.
So, we sold, I think, a small amount. I think we probably each bought mostly our share of part of them.
Right.
But then
We did it, I don't know how many times we did it in Spirit of Chaos.
yeah. Well,
I didn't want to be that opening band.
I forgot my tickets.
Do you know what I mean? Being the opening band on a major venue like Pops, Foo Bar, fucking the other one, Firefly or whatever.
Firebird.
Firebird. I always want to call it Firefly. I don't fucking understand it. Which is Sasser's joint.
We've
Then
we
there's
never had to do that.
I
yeah.
rode with Duke. He came to pick me up for that show, and I rode with him to Levi's where we met up, and our Windsor where we I don't remember where fucking I don't remember where we met up at. Either way, I jumped in with Duke and left 12 tickets in my car. So when we got to the venue, I had to buy my 12 tickets. All of them, the whole thing. And I was like,
That's shitty.
Because they said it. He said, I'll send you 30 tickets. Like, okay, cool. We'll see.
Yeah, that's usually
that's like 6 tickets per member.
Yeah.
We can try to figure that out. Cool. And like
We
I said,
always-
it wasn't like we had to.
We always threw Chop out there because that fucker could sell shit to a toilet salesman.
Right.
You know, I mean, no, dude, he would. And the biggest problem that I've seen with it was, for me, I always hated the idea of selling tickets for a major venue. 2 reasons. We're an hour away from St. Louis,
Yep.
give or take who's driving.
Yeah.
But you're an hour away from St. Louis. You've booked a show in the dead of winter. You're expected to sell these X amount of tickets, and you do sell them if you have to fucking sell them at fucking cost, and you're not making any gas money on it or whatever. But say you sell your 30 tickets, then 4 people show up because the damn show gets snowed in.
Right.
Nobody's going to drive from here on $3 gas.
Or a lot of,
to
you
St.
know,
Louis to watch a show where they can listen to it on their computer at home, on their phone at home, or whatever.
and then there's, you know, half the time it's on a Wednesday or something. And
Yeah, and everybody's gotta work.
everybody like, well, I'll buy a ticket. I'm probably ain't gonna go.
Yeah,
but,
that's a penny
you know,
purchase is what I call it.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
I
but
always
I do
hated
gotta
the
say,
idea of that because pay to play is just
yeah,
it's horrible, but it does work for the major bands because I understand how it works in a bar. If you're a major venue, you're putting out $10,000 to book the major act, and I'm being polite because some of these are way more than that.
Oh, yeah.
I know there's a band out of Chicago that we all know. Like I said, I don't drop names on here, but their booking is like $6,000.
yeah.
And they play fucking ungodly amounts of shows. They're fucking awesome ass band. I will throw a little hint. Fucking beer is good. But like to book, they got to get these major acts in, and then they've got to make that money back. So they fucking push out tickets. So
Yeah.
what do? They jump on the local support. Hey, we need 3 local bands to get on there. Those local bands are the ones that are stuck selling them fucking tickets to try to make that money back
Yep.
for the venue.
And the venue. The venue.
Yeah, the venue will sell shit. too.
There's a really cool place up in Danville. I don't know if they still do shows, but I wish they would tell us. It's called Vintage Villains.
Yeah,
You
the
ever been
whole.
there?
Yeah, I've seen it. I wanted to go, but I've never been able to make the trip. And the whole wall
Holy
next to the stage is
shit.
all done up like Rob Zombie art.
Well, there's that. But then
Yeah.
on the other side, the wall you don't see is all arcade games on free play.
Yeah.
And on the back wall, perpendicular to the art wall, is pinball machines. And they sell booze, and that's cool. But
Yeah,
like,
it's a badass venue. I wish I could make
dude,
it up there.
they had so
It's
much
fucking
cool
giant in there,
shit.
too.
So
There's a big-ass open
much.
area. Yeah.
We played in the old band, I think 3, maybe
2 or 3 times.
I would say it was either 2 to 4. I can't remember. Right. There was some that we jumped on like last minute that we had to go and stuff like that. But
That place rocked, and I wish they would start doing stuff again. But like, you know, bands that you would, I guess they would be like regional touring acts in this area.
We
or
call them AAAs.
Iowa, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, Triple A's. Yeah.
AAAs.
See, what was who would it be?
The touring acts that are nationalized, we call them AAAs.
Who the fuck are some of them bands that Grays used to jam with that we used to play up there? Damn it, I'm having a brain fart right now.
Well, a lot of people won't know this, but I'm going to go ahead and spit it out there. We started recording at 8:30 in the morning, and these guys drove an hour to get to this podcast, so thank you for coming.
Hey, no problem.
Early mornings are...
glad we could figure out a time to get.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I have to get up, go to work at. I have to be at work at 6 every morning anyway, so
Yeah.
it was just I didn't get to sleep in on my Saturday.
I actually, believe it or not, slept in today. I'm
I can tell.
I'm normally-
He looks still asleep.
normally up at like
Dead horse
4:30.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
who I was, Dead Horse
yeah.
Trauma is who I was trying to
We
think
played
of.
a show with them in the other room over here. There's a flyer we played with them.
First time I ever saw
think,
those guys was up there.
I
at
think
that
it was
place.
Straight Line Stitch. that
Them
was the
too.
headliners.
That's the
Yes.
other one. Damn it. That's
We
the other one I was
played
trying to
with
think
them
of.
at Food Bar, and like the lead singer in me got fucking tore up.
That lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. She is like super
So,
nice, but then
me
when
and
she
Chop sat with her.
gets up there with that microphone,
Oh my god,
golly.
dude. That was back when she had, I think she had just cut off the braids. She had her hair all braided, and this is a black chick, I think she's mixed or something, but it doesn't fucking matter. But she fucking had these braids that were long as shit, and I was so expecting to see him scoop the fucking stage when she had that when she was doing it. She's a screamer. Oh my god, she can scream her braids
yeah.
out. But we opened up for them. I think it was like Sacrifice to God, Straight Line Stitch, the Dead Horse Trauma, and us, Spirit of Chaos at the time, we were the opening band on that one. And that's when we literally started to realize that Fubar's not bad about it. Pops is horrible about ticket bullshit.
Oh yeah.
They are, and no disrespect to Pops, they're a business. Like I said, you got to make your money one way or the other. And I don't have a problem with Pops because I've never seen a more professional area to play at than Pops because they come to you. You're there an hour before the fucking show starts for load in. Everybody gets there. Everybody gets their wristbands. Everybody gets their drink tickets. They tell you when you're going on. They collect their tickets. They do it fucking awesome. The upstairs office is nothing but signed fucking memorabilia as you're going out to the fucking main office. Fucking do it. I never had the luxury of going to the old Pops, the one that burned down back in the day. Never fucking like.
Oh, I didn't
even know about it.
I guess it burned down and they moved it or rebuilt it where the new location is. But
they
they just recently went through an overhaul like 3-4 years ago, and they changed the whole outside of the way it looks and everything. But to get back to the business end of it, I strongly suggest a lot of these bands around here not worry so much about going to these major venues. For that reason, if you're an upcoming band and you've been around a year or less, don't worry about getting notoriety. Play your local areas. Get a local fucking scene going.
Dude, we try
not.
not.
Indiana, Blood Tribe.
We try not to turn down shows if we have the ability. I mean,
right.
That's
understandable.
The best feeling, as far as I'm concerned, is if you have to turn down a show, it's because you're already booked. You know, that's really how I like it.
Yeah.
But given the fact that we're all like, you know, between the ages of what, 33, 32 and like 40, you know, we all have full-time jobs,
families,
and we get a lot of calls where someone's like, hey, we need somebody to jump on this show on, like, you know, Tuesday, like, you need to be there by like 5:30. Right. Fuck, there's no way. we have vacations, we have stuff, but we also have families, we have, you know, obligations, stuff we got to do, stuff we want to do, shit like that. So it's hard for us to do midweek shows. We did pick one up. It's actually this coming week on I think Tuesday.
This Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. It's at America's Groove.
America's Groove Record Store.
America's Groove. You're talking about venues closing.
I wish to God that place could get its own building, though.
Yes,
oh, dude,
yes.
I know that owner wants one.
I heard that they were going to
every fucking day he is flipping through records on his fucking social
Oh, yeah.
media.
Dude, Aaron is one of the coolest fucking people. Like, I didn't, he's been in, you know, a band, or he's been in bands, period, but he's been in a band that was pretty well off around, you know, as far as playing and everything.
Position 12.
Position 12 is what they're called. I honestly had never heard of them, but I also lived a pretty sheltered life up until a certain point, and then I was more worried about
Same here.
being a fucking kid right now than I was doing that, you know.
shit. Like, I remember I come home with an AC/DC, this tells my age right off the bat. I come home with an AC/DC ball breaker cassette. And my dad found it in my backpack. He was like, "We ain't gonna have that kind of music in my house."
Well,
snapped it right in front of me. I'm like,
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. Shelter is probably a stupid word to use. I had it's a nice way to put it.
protective.
I had protective still is. Let's just say it sucked. I didn't get to do a lot of shit.
And there's the laugh that will kill your speakers.
I didn't get to do a lot of stuff.
Look at that soundbar.
It was like, let's say when somebody else has a bad day, then everybody else around them needs to have a bad day. That kind of
I know
so
where you're going.
I missed out on a lot of shit that I should have been having fun with.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to go to concerts. I wasn't like I remember my buddies bought tickets to go to Woodstock '94, and I was fucking stoked to go, and I got in trouble. And then Dad found out I was going to go to a concert because I was running out of the house, saying I was just going to go spend the weekend with friends. Found out I was going to fucking Woodstock, and was like, "You ain't going nowhere." I'm like, "Motherfucker!" And then I had to sit at home and watch on a fucking 4-bottle TV. Had to sit at home and watch Woodstock '94 on MTV for 3 straight days. I was madder than a motherfucker. I didn't come out of my room. I grabbed a bunch of food and sat my ass in my room for 3 days.
I missed out on the greatest concert that would have probably ever been in my life. It was right after Slipknot discovered Mudvayne, or Clown discovered Mudvayne and kind of got them all set up. But Slipknot during the Iowa tour cycle, and Mudvayne was direct support, and I think V-Shaped Mind was the opening act, if I remember right. But anyway, they were playing up in Peoria, Mudvayne's homeland, and I was so stoked I couldn't believe it, and I was hoping to go with my buddy and his dad, and I got grounded.
Oh.
Because I got a D in my report card when I was 17. Yeah, dude. So, like, it was
Mine
just
wasn't
like,
that. I mean, I was a shit student, so mine wasn't that case. My case was, you're not going to go to this because it's going to be nothing but booze, and you're going to drink, and you're going to be doing drugs, and I'm like, you're possibly right, but that doesn't mean shit. You should let me go to the show to have fun. I'm a teenager.
I think, honestly, now that I'm older, I think a lot of it was just self-reflection being projected back on me.
I can understand that.
Like, no, I don't want you to go to a concert because I know exactly what happens at concerts. I think it was more, it was probably meant well, but still fucking prick.
Burns.
So, yeah.
Still burns, yeah.
But like anyway, what were we talking about?
I don't know. We're going to get to the funniest part of this fucking show because I know you guys have a time restraint.
Oh, we
today.
still have I would say at least
Wait.
at least 40 minutes.
Okay.
If it took an hour to get here and Levi needs to be home by noon, we should probably wrap it up at 11:15. That way I can get
Or
ready in the truck and drive.
A little sooner than that,
sooner.
maybe.
Okay, 10:30.
10:30ish.
All right.
That's fine. No, what I was getting at was like, for me, I think I've seen so many fucking bars close. I've seen so many bands have bad experiences playing at certain bars that hold them to accountability. You get in there, you've booked a show. We already talked about all that shit. You've had 2 months to fuck away. You practice. Market. And I seen a meme that wraps it up better than anything I've ever fucking read as far as what I've tried to do for everybody around here, is that a band will book a show and market that one show more times than a bar will market their entire year of entertainment.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
In one show. They wrap it up for them.
Yeah, but on the other hand,
I'm just saying, if you have a social media platform, you know you have an area to play music, and you know you're going to be booking bands as entertainment, shouldn't you have someone that is designed and purchased, I guess, just specifically to handle your marketing?
I don't think they want to do that though. For the fact of the
it's
matter is,
money.
if your band doesn't approach them, if your band doesn't approach the owner or the whoever is in charge of it, then you're not going to get booked, right? So like, you have to. Especially as far as the people and the way it goes, as hard as it is to book now at certain places, you have to be able to make it as painless as possible.
True.
And you have to be able to,
even if that means you play.
like you have to lull them into a sense that everything's going to be okay, and you're going to handle everything, and they're going to hopefully make money. You know?
Well,
that's the gamble. That's the only thing.
The-
we can't ever fucking guarantee that part because we don't know.
I see another problem with trying to get shows booked, and not only get them booked, but when you have them booked, getting the bars to do them again. A lot of these bars, they don't know anything about
the music
having live music.
Oh, okay.
Like
Yeah.
they don't know what it takes.
Yeah.
There's a stage over there. There's
Yeah.
one freaking outlet to
90%
plug
of them,
in.
the small bars don't even have a PA for you.
They don't.
Or
They don't
they expect it to be like a sold out fucking
Yeah, they don't-
person thing.
That's
They
what I'm
don't
getting at. The marketing
understand
sense
how
of
it
doesn't
works.
make any sense to me. They don't know how it works because if I'm a bar owner and I don't know your damn band, and I've seen this happen 1,000 times, and I don't know your band, you come to me, or your rep comes to me because some of you guys design or designate someone in your band to be the fucking spokesman, and they come to me, they book the show. Yeah, cool. You can charge at the door, or hey, we're going to pay you $200 for 3 hours set. That specific band, because that's the way it is at PK's down in southern Carbondale area. What are you going to do for me? Is what they want. How much traffic are you going to bring me? Well, it's not just me that's going to be bringing you traffic. You know, the bar owner, like I've said 100 times, the bar owner or someone that's designated by the bar owner needs to make sure that it's being promoted. There's no promotion going in to their side of this, equation. It has to be, as Jess said, it has to be a team effort between you and the bar. There needs to be. If you can't hold a relationship with the person you booked with, because you'll book that first show, 5 people show up and they're your old ladies. No one else walks in the damn bar, or you'll see 10 people walk in that are of their normal, as they call regulars, and they turn right back around and leave because they think it's noise.
See,
that's another problem.
That is the really, really hard part about
Yeah.
Yeah, because that first show causes the bar owner to think, well, you guys didn't hold your end, fuck you, have a nice day.
And
Yeah,
that sucks.
if you can't,
that really sucks.
They're like, if you can't please the regulars,
yeah,
for you, even though it's only, even though they've only got,
this is what sucks about like booking in Sullivan, because in Sullivan you've got basically 3 bars right in a row. You got the one that the Landing, and you got Night Owls, and you got Owls.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And around there somewhere is one that's defunct now. It's called the Night Landing. They're not really creative. Landing, Night Landing, Owls, Night Owls.
Yeah, kind of noticed.
Yeah. So like,
because I was like looking at owls and I'm going, okay, do I go in here? And I'm like,
no,
yes, not
owls. Yeah.
yeah.
Thing is with that,
they're all
when there
literally
was 3. When
They're
there was 3
literally all
bars
right next to each other.
When there was 3 bars right there in that little block, if the regulars didn't want to listen, they just went next door where it wasn't quite as loud. They still heard us.
Oh yeah.
But,
yeah.
But like,
because it's literally
also,
nothing more than a fucking firewall that's between the 2
that's
bars.
That's also why we couldn't charge a cover in that town. Because if you charged a cover, then even your fans, like sad as this sounds, even your fans that like are stoked for the show and shit like that, have been posting it and everything, they will go sit next door and listen to you through the wall, muffled for free, for cheaper drinks.
That's shitty, guys.
And that's one beer. That's one beer plus tip.
But
if your beer's $2.25 and you tip the 75 cents like a dick,
but
because
both
you're
of
the kind of dick that would do that because the fucking you didn't pay the goddamn cover. You know what I'm saying? It's like you guys would sacrifice one beer. It would be great, and they won't. And I'm not mad at them.
Well, that's kind of a unique situation there because of they're literally 3 bars in a row.
Yeah.
So that creates the shitty situation of
I'm guilty of
them
it.
not paying and then
I'm
sitting in
guilty
the
of
other
doing
bar.
what you're talking about,
And then
because-
it also, but the good thing is the regulars still can get away from it if
Well,
they
I
want
used to
to.
live in an apartment that's literally not more than 1,000 yards from the crossing in Mount Vernon. Okay, me and my current wife literally we moved in together in that apartment. Well, I moved in and she moved in later. But anyway, we would be guilty of going outside and sitting on our fucking driveway and like all of us, we call it the Harrison Nut House because Spirit of Chaos basically lived in that goddamn apartment building. There was only 8 tenants.
Yeah.
8 fucking apartments, and they were like 4 in one block across the fucking driveway, 4 in another block, 8 parking spaces, and then a road. Well, we would sit outside if we didn't want to pay for the fucking cover or whatever. We'd go buy a bunch of fucking beer and sit outside, just listen, because they bring it outside in the sun, you hear every goddamn thing going on. So I understand everybody's got financial strain.
Right.
So does the bars.
Yeah.
But if we can't get relationships between the bands and the bars to stick and bring in different kinds of bands, you guys snatch up some of the bands from down here and take them with you.
That's
like
right.
there's I think not Spirit of Chaos, Jesus Christ. I think Cause of Ruin is actually supposed to play a show with you guys here shortly.
Oh, we did.
Did you guys already play it?
No, yeah, one at
No, I'm talking about up north where you guys are from. I thought there was a show booked for up there come October.
No,
or so.
Shipley is.
Shipley.
Shipley's playing in Decatur on August 24th, which is fucking cool. I'm glad.
Awesome.
He's
Awesome.
super stoked about
Oh, I
that.
know. He was at the barbecue and it was fucking like he was bragging about it hardcore because he loves it.
Dude, it's great to have him.
Yeah.
I'm glad we found an opportunity to get him to come up here. I mean, I think he's fucking cool.
I love what
you
he
can tell
does.
he puts a ton of emotion
Oh,
into his
yes.
work, and it's great to see people that still do that and
Yeah.
just going through the motions.
To me, all you guys do it. I mean, I can always tell now when a band is having a bad day on stage. And it's not like the sound's fucked up or anything like that. I can tell there's something internal that's about to be broadcasted. You can always see it on the faces of the band as they're playing because they're not bouncing around like ping pong balls. They're not their normal fucking broadcast stuff live.
Right.
So I've gotten where I can read into things like that now where I'm going, okay, that one's going to have problems in a month. Watch.
Yeah.
And a month later, they lost a member or the band dissolved because they're not getting the recognition playing when you go to book a show and 6 people show up and you spent 3 fucking weeks busting your ass.
Yeah.
But one thing I do want to throw out there is I've never said this, and I think it's an important fucking part of us marketing your fans. All of our fans in this area, and I say that because I was in a band and just 3 years ago left it and everything like that, but all of our fans fucking help broadcast, help market, they push it, they post it, they fucking reshare it, hey, look at this, man, I'm drunk at a bar, we're going to this, you should come with, and they drag a fucking carload of people with them to go to a 2-hour drive from here to hit someplace up north or down south. And it's so awesome to see these guys doing that. So if any of the fans are out there listening to any of this from Sons of Cain or any other band that's been on this, keep fucking doing that because you guys are helping them out more than you will ever know.
Right.
Definitely.
That's 100% sure. Let me smoke one of your cigarettes.
One thing that I have noticed over the years that
you're fucking wrong.
it's probably pretty obvious, but like the way that whenever we play a show with 3 other bands and one of them might be from a different area than us and we buddy up with them and I'll get you on this show, you guys can get us on that show. That is like a huge
cross-pollination,
huge help in the scene. And
like when I did Metal in the Mountains, I didn't realize what I had. The very first show that you with Deep Six was on, I didn't realize what I had. So I thought, awesome, we pulled it off. We had fucking 300 people show up from all fucking walks around here.
Yeah.
We had the regulars actually in there because we had bands like Washco Lowlifes, Deep Six. Fucking these bands were lighter than what, and no disrespect, but their type of music was way lighter than like Annihilate the Hero and shit like that. So we actually got to pull from those kind of bands, keeping the regulars in the door because they loved that music. Like Washco, when I first met those guys, it was Washco Lowlife, Sacrifice the Gods, and Spirit of Chaos, and we fucking booked every fucking thing around here. We were playing in motherfucking bookstores in Centralia. We didn't fucking care where we played at. So it did help because like Sacrifice the Gods would book a show. They would market the fuck out of it, come up with crazy ass flyers, fucking push it to everybody in the other 2 bands. And then the other 2 bands would just fucking pollinate everything we could with it. We even got in trouble a couple times because we'd make mini flyers and we'd go to any bar and windshield it.
Yeah.
Any bar. Fucking hit them up, go inside, get hammered. Fucking hang out with the fucking crew. Throw them in the bathroom, throw them on the table. And it wasn't even for that bar. But it got us fucking people in the door. But like I was saying with Metal in the Mountains, I didn't realize what I had. So I was like, cool, we pulled it off. And then I thought, that's the end of that. Awesome, let's go on to the next adventure. And my buddy Chop, Brian Bernard, was like, dude, we're going to do it again. I'm like, what? He's like, we want to do it again. Get a hold of all the fucking bands, blah, blah, blah. I was like, dude, I don't want to fucking do this. I was going through a divorce. My dad was fucking sick. All kinds of stupid shit was going on. But I was like, okay, you guys take it. And him and Greg Porter put on Metal of the Mountains, which was technically Metal of the Mountains Part 2. So after Metal of the Mountains went down, I was like, well, fuck it, I'm going to keep going with this. We ended up doing 5 more shows after that.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize how much cross-pollination between the bands was going to help. Watching all these bands know they were getting ready to go on stage and play, and there was a good number of people at this fucking bar. I mean, I don't think we ever had a show that didn't have 300 people plus. I know the last one, Metal Mountains 5, with Gogata coming back to play, we ended up with 500 plus in the door.
Nice.
But the Granada charged a shit ton of fucking money.
Yeah.
$400 insurance policy that I had to come up with. Yeah, and then the door, which was $300 per night. So right there's $700, and I still had enough to pay each band $100. So I ended up making $1,700 is what we ended up making for that fucking show, I think.
Nice.
So we were able to pay everyone. I didn't have anything out of pocket. I didn't take home anything. But the cross-pollination is definitely a fucking great opportunity for all the bands in this area because, like Blood Tribe out of Evansville, Indiana, come to play, I think it was 4. Yeah, they're on 5 as well. I'm looking at the shirt over there. But fucking awesome-ass band. Brutal fucking music. Don't mind traveling. for a C-Note. Don't mind traveling at all for a C-Note. They were probably one of the most respectful bands around here.
No, fuck, man, you should see it now.
What?
Now people don't mind traveling for $10 fucking.
Yeah, that's
it,
great. Because you got to get your name out
It's
there.
not great. It's great, but
it's
not
great, but
You
it
got-
sucks that it has to be that way.
There's a
That's
band.
true.
really
I'm not
does.
saying that part.
There's a
yeah.
fucking band driving up from Columbia, Missouri in October to play at the Syraxis.
Is that the October 19th show?
Yeah. They're driving up from fucking, that's way far away. Columbia, I think's what I said, right?
Columbia, Illinois, or Missouri?
Missouri. Yeah, it's a drive.
It's
It's like a 5-hour drive,
Yeah.
maybe.
Something like that.
And like, they're just happy to be a part of it, man. And these guys. Now I find this with a lot of bands. I mean, we're like the old guy kind of exception because we all, we work a lot of factory jobs. A lot of these bands we know are either younger than us or they don't they have flexibility due to different types of jobs and stuff like that. I mean, if I didn't have a kid, I would probably still be working kitchen jobs. But whenever I knew my son was coming, I went and got a full-time, factory gig and moved my way through and all that.
Yeah.
So I mean, it does knock a bunch of the availability down, but
A little bit, yeah.
a lot of these other bands, they're not looking at a solid 40 to 45 hour a week job. So when they drive 5 hours away, you got like 4 dudes pooling $20 each to drive a truck with a trailer up and then hope to make enough money to drive back and get a bite to eat,
Yeah.
And it sucks, man. It fucking sucks.
But that's how all these bands started. Name a national act, I guarantee if you look at their history, they all started fucking grubbing.
Well, yeah, I mean,
You know
I
what I mean?
understand.
That's what I call it. Is
I
literally
get it.
fucking
It's
sleeping
just-
in your fucking
basically-
van on the side of the
basically,
interstate,
yeah.
so you don't have to pay for
It's-
fucking lodging,
It's a kick in
and you
the
made
nuts.
$30 driving 5 hours.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Basically, it's a kick in the nuts. That's my point. It sucks.
Oh, yeah.
So it's nice to be able to find some of these venues that we have up here that they don't work with a cover charge because they know people will go somewhere else. I was like, look, we'll pay you X amount of dollars, and then you need to fill in the blanks.
Right.
So bam, bam, bam.
That's what I love about the unity, not separation. I've actually done a lot of digging on what they do and everything, and from what I understand, that's out of Texas, is it not?
Well, that's where
The band.
most of Norman's band is out of Texas.
That's what I thought. So I would assume that
I'm guessing
Well, I mean,
it's between Norman and I think William.
Yeah.
His guitar player, right?
yeah.
Yeah, those guys are fucking great, man.
Yeah, well, they have the
shout out
best-
within the Giants' reach in Norman for that. You
Fuck
guys
yeah.
do a lot of fucking work, and it's awesome. I'm glad we finally got to come down and watch you guys play.
Well, what I'm getting at is I think they have the best ideas of what we need in this scene, and it's not just the scene. And when I say, I've said it before, and you guys have probably heard it if you've listened to the podcast, the scene to me is your fans.
Yeah.
People that are helping you on Facebook, viral media, buying your merch, coming to shows when they can, because everybody's got that 9 to 5. At our age especially,
Yeah.
everybody has that 9 to 5. But I just, probably a month ago, maybe less, heard a video from a guy that got on there, and he was talking about the best thing that a lot of these bands around here could do to help other bands is cover one of their songs.
Right.
That we talked about cross-pollination. Right
Yeah.
there is a huge fucking opportunity.
I have noticed that about shows down here, actually, and that they throw in other bands' songs here and there. Now, to counter that point,
And I mean,
as
bands
cool
from the
as,
scene.
as cool as it would be for us just to be like, hey, this is a song by our homeboys in this band, check it out. As
Right.
cool as that would be, we are restricted to roughly 30 to 45 minutes playtime, right?
Yeah.
We have a 49-minute album out, plus we've written a new song to play live, and we have a possibility of like 2 more coming up pretty soon that are going to get mixed in. We don't have the time. That's the same reason of why we knew whenever...
You guys are fairly new though, right? As far as writing goes.
Yeah, well, I mean, no, but yeah. I mean, as far me and Levi and Duke have been writing together since at least 2013.
Well, what I'm getting at is,
Well-
in your current catalog of Sons of Cain, you guys
Yeah.
have a fresh amount of music that you are only allowed to play
Basically, yeah.
because you guys haven't really been able to get time.
That's why we cut our cover songs.
Yeah, I
we
mean-
did 3 covers for basically for fun and out of necessity until we wrote new music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And
a
so-
great idea actually.
And they became a lot of fun to do, except for one of them. I'm not so much a fan of, but it was good with
Every
it.
band has a song that they all hate.
But like, we don't have time. We have to get it in where we can get it in. And that may sound selfish, but odds are,
Well,
in our area, the same bands were offered the opportunity to come play the same set, probably, because there's only so many bands in the area that play certain styles of music. So those are usually your go-to people when it comes to,
Well, and
who you want on your
the
show.
other thing is like, I don't remember the last time we had an hour to play.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. It's very rare, even in a bigger venue. It's very rare.
It really depends.
Usually, what happens is, hey, this band is not going to be here tonight. Can you guys pick up 15 minutes?
Yeah.
And they split that hour that was, or 45 minutes that was supposed to be for the other band amongst the 5 that are there.
Yeah.
Well, like you were
It's
saying,
usually about the only time you get some extra time.
Right.
like you were saying about
And you're fucking sitting there with your set list going, fuck this napkin, can I hold this?
Yeah.
you were saying about this the whole cross pollination thing. We could play an hour set, real easy.
Yeah.
Anytime we booked it, as long as it was say quote unquote our show, if we're the ones booking it, hosting, whatever, we could play an hour set every time. But like what you were saying is we meet these bands playing in other places, and they're fucking cool people. We want to hang out again. Lights Over Arcadia.
Oh, yeah.
Man, like as soon as we saw them and Ending Orion when we played with them all down at Just Bill's, the 2 headliners.
That's a
actually-
fucking weird stage, isn't it?
It is.
Nothing like having a post right in front of you.
Let me tell you, that. Just Bill's is probably one of my favorite places.
I love the
Because
booze. I love
I
the
mean,
bar.
the way the booking is set up is whatever and everything, but just the fact that I think they had Stag on sale last time for like $1. I gotta drink my weight.
It's
Stag.
yeah. It's,
Oh man. It was
oh
cool.
man, I've
We
had.
went to play there, and we literally showed up, and there was a fucking bachelorette party going on in the building. So there's women and all these dresses running around, all hammer throwing up on each other and shit. And we're trying to load in through the front door because there's no other way to get your shit in. And we're trying to get to the stage. We get on the stage, we get all set up, and I think it was like us, one other band, and Fun Gone Wrong, or something like along that line that all played this show. And it was a good drive from here because it's north of fucking St. Louis, as we know. And
Overland.
yeah. And we get there, we get set up, and then we realize that right in front of Chris's cabinet is a fucking I-beam.
Yeah.
So I'm like, peekaboo. The whole time I'm playing.
Yeah, it's
I've
cool.
played many fun shows there with
Oh, dude, it's
with
a fun place.
Deep Six. Warner played there.
Warner played there. Warner played there for $4.
Lobotomy, Buried in Black.
Yeah.
It's
Sons
fucked
of
up.
Cain.
Yeah.
We played, you played there like 5 times in all the different bands.
Well, more than that, but you know.
Right.
Or at least, I guess, at least 5 times. Excuse me.
So,
Yeah, like fucking. Anyway, you meet these other bands, and then you think, well, fuck, all 3 bands are gonna have an hour set. This is gonna be awesome. We're gonna be able to play our whole CD. And you put word out, and then someone's like, "Hey, man, you guys got an extra slot in that show?" Like, yeah, we do. You know what? There's no reason. There's no logical reason I can tell you no, we don't have room. So
Right.
yes, you can. Let's do this. And then we pass them out and get them back, and it's cool. We love trading. Trading.
Oh,
is
yeah.
really
Yeah.
good. Like, and sometimes you meet bands that it's hard to trade with because you don't want to or can't get to.
Yeah.
Like you don't have a full, like, say 20-hour day to devote to drive to Tennessee and then back.
Yeah.
Something like that. Because those guys, it would be super cool to be able to play with 3 Minutes to Live again.
Yeah.
Those guys are great. They're fun to watch. Their CD's tighter than a nun's cunt. I fucking love it. Man, it's cool. It's like I heard that CD. We watched them, right? And I'd already bought like a bunch of their merch just because I was trying to get from every band that was there a little bit of something.
right.
And I already bought their CDs and shit. And then we watched them. I was like, why the fuck are we playing after these guys?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
that was the only thing I could think. And like as soon as they jumped off the stage, that's the first thing I asked their singer. I was like, "Who the fuck did this, and why are we playing after you?" Like, so we get up there, we got to bring our A game, which
Yeah.
technical difficulties happened, and we didn't quite bring our A. We brought our A- game. Our performance was fine, but we had a little hang up there at first, a problem with an amp. But
Isn't that fun?
it was cool.
Oh, I hate that part of it.
To be honest, one of the bands had to drop off anyway,
Right.
unexpectedly, and we ended up. They weren't even upset that we went over time and started late. We were like 10 minutes over, and I felt like a dick. I went and told the guitar player from Tetrarch, they were the headliner, and I went and told her, like, "I'm so sorry we went over. We didn't mean to. It was a late start, and everything's fucked up." She's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. Our set's only 35 minutes long." I was like, "Well, fuck!"
Yeah.
Like, well, that's easy then. Hell,
Right.
we'll take care of that. But yeah, it was cool. But the trading thing, it's important. That
Dude, that's what I was going to get at, too.
we have like a core group of bands from the area we live in, right? And we do, like us and Syraxis have played more than a couple shows.
Oh, yeah.
Us and
Oh,
Gray's
yeah.
Divide have played more than a couple of shows together. We try to, like, when we're booking as Sons of Cain's, entity, we try to book ourselves, obviously, one of the bands that we're buddies with, and then somebody that's an outsider, if not two outsiders. And that way, we can still keep it cool with our friends and keep it cool with new people that we've met along the way.
Yeah, it's always good
That's
to
the way it should
bring
be.
new bands in
it's
too.
good. It's good.
I love
it's a
it.
good time.
Well,
Meet
what
new
I was
bands.
getting at is it's getting back to like I remember when we were jamming out and everything like that with Spirit of Chaos, that there came a time frame within that 4 or 5 years that we were active that certain bands were starting to get where they were like, well, fuck you, we deserve to play. Competition is what I'm saying. It's starting to go away again. Like, there's no competition down in this area now. Now, no disrespect to go further south from here, but you hit the Carbondale area, and we're like the black sheep in this area here. All of us, you guys included, fucking Effingham area, Sullivan area, Windsor.
Effingham, we're the black sheep.
Yeah, well,
We're
I'm saying
not-
playing Carbondale.
like
It
right
literally,
now.
like, we can't even get booked. When we were active, we could not get into PKs.
You want to know why we get
could not
booked
get
in
into
Effingham?
fucking-
We get booked in Effingham for like basically right now, as it is, one reason. That's that Aaron likes original music. The guy that owns a record store, he prefers original music. He likes meeting new people. He likes bringing people to his store.
That's what it's about.
But he doesn't pay BMI or ASCAP fees
No.
and shit because he doesn't have any reason for people to come in and play covers. He only books original stuff.
Yeah.
So
And that's
we get gigs at Effingham that I'm like I like Aaron and I like to play. I like to make him happy.
Well,
we
and
had a really good turnout of
You
our
got to
Odyssey
mention
release
that
show.
Which
that
is
is
crazy
the
because-
only place we get booked in Effingham.
Yeah, right now
I
that's
mean,
literally I haven't looked into it. I know the bowling alley still has bands from time to time. I don't know what the stipulations are in getting there, but there's as far as Effingham goes, it's pretty much Aaron. It's pretty much America's Groove.
Yeah.
Well, what I was getting at
for
also
our
is,
scene
Yeah,
anyway.
for our scene.
yeah, for here, the biggest problem we noticed here is that a lot of the bands around here, and I don't mean to fucking step on anybody's toes when I say this, because there's a lot of bands in here in Mount Vernon area, in Jefferson County, or Nashville, and shit like that I know. I know personally they're really good friends or brothers, sisters, whatever you want to call them, but they're close to me. And I don't want to take a bullet to the chest when I say this, but it was along the lines of I don't want to book there because there's no booze.
With the shit in the face.
And
Yeah.
when I seen you guys playing in a record store and turning around when I was going live and I'm looking at you guys and watching you guys play, very awkward way to fucking have to set up to record you guys playing because it's like a living room setup and then all this crazy ass merch everywhere.
Yeah.
It's a record store. There's all kinds of crazy shit in there. And I loved it.
Yeah.
But the stage is set up. It's so tiny and it's aimed one direction. But the fucking everybody has to turn themselves and it's a weird setup. But
It is not the
I
most
love it.
beautiful thing ever,
I
but it's
love
a
the way he
beautiful
set
thing.
it up because you guys actually had people show up that didn't care. They couldn't drink.
Right.
They
Yeah.
came
Well,
in there,
you
they're
know what,
thumbing
man?
through shit and they're looking down at you guys like, fuck yeah, they're jamming out.
People
Still
came
thumbing
there.
through shit.
People came there that didn't care that they couldn't buy booze,
Yeah.
and people came there that are okay with going to the parking lot and slamming a beer and throwing the can down the fucking trash can.
Right.
Gee, man, it's probably illegal, but you know,
More likely.
we're not fucking starting fights.
We're not
man.
promoting it.
That's the
We're
big
just
thing.
saying
We're not.
it
We're
does
not telling
happen.
people they gotta go outside
Yeah.
and hammer beer.
Well, the
Go
biggest
outside
thing,
And then-
hammer
the biggest thing these bars and venues fucking have a problem with also is they think, okay, you're bringing in hard rock, heavy metal. Automatically, they think it's going to be a bunch of hippie drunks that are going to fucking torch your building. And
Yeah.
sacrifice a goat on your turntable. You know.
Yeah.
And
They
you
don't
know what?
understand.
Honestly, the
And that fucking argument's been
the people.
that's decades
Oh
old.
yeah. The people in our kind of music are the nicest people you.
Oh yeah, I've
ever
done
meet.
probably 12 shows that I could literally broadcast at any time. They're all hanging up in my room in there, and I don't think we've had but one time where there was a bad ordeal.
Yeah.
And the person that caused it got a little too inebriated, and he knew he fucked up, and he left. No fists were thrown.
It
No
happens.
tables got broke. No pool cues got impaled.
We
None
got
of that shit
a
happened,
super
so.
fan, as I like to call him.
I know what you're
think
talking about.
you were there
Yeah.
that night. I forgot.
He
Yeah,
slammed me when he was slam dancing. He
Oh,
got,
yeah.
about knocked the
Oh,
tablet
yeah.
out of my head. I looked at him like,
Let me
dude.
tell
But after knowing who he was, from hearing you talk about him prior, I was like, oh my god, this motherfucker's cool as
There
shit.
is a lot of things people can say about Grady. Most of it is probably shit that occurred long before I even knew who he was.
Right.
So I don't really give a fuck, man. People,
Yeah. Everybody has a past.
Everybody
Yeah.
has new chapters in their life.
Yes, sir.
From what I've gathered, as crazy as he is a straight edge dude. I mean, not a straight edge. That's the wrong word. A straight arrow kind of dude. Like,
Right.
you know, if he says something to you, odds are that's probably exactly what he meant. You know,
Yeah.
it's not going to be
There's
like
no
some
beating around the bush with
no
it.
candy coating
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
that guy. He'll tell you, and he sits up there and he yells out that the band suck, and you know, but
yeah,
like
and it's a pun.
people don't get it that one of his real good best buddies actually, I believe that was the same show that you were there for. Was it for Crapfest?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. He had a
Crap
busted
fest.
leg, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crapfest
I was outside
is
smoking
for,
and watched him walk up limping. I'm like,
it's
this
basically a
motherfucker here.
memorial show for one of his really good friends,
Yeah, I
Joe
remember reading.
Crap,
Yeah.
and like.
Which, what a name.
That's basically when Grady would go watch Joey's old band Slough. Like that's what it was always. We fucking suck. You guys fucking
Yeah.
suck. Everything fucking sucks. You know, everything was. It was just the way they were. You know, and fucking.
It's that way here. With a lot of bands
Peter
here. There's always that one
Steele.
person that wants to fuck
Peter
with it.
Steele started Typo Negative because they wanted to be the worst sounding band ever, and that's why they sound like they did. That was his dream, was just to make them sound like shit, use shit, you know, generic junk here and stuff like that. Well, these guys, I wouldn't say they were like that, but they didn't give any fucks at all. That's for
No.
sure. A lot of booze, a lot of drugs out there, but like that was all when they were younger. Well, now like. That's still how great he is when he goes to shows.
His personality.
Yeah, and as soon as he's done telling you how horrible your band is during
Fucking awesome
right
shit.
after your
Yeah.
song gets over with, he's gonna come up and shake your hand and tell you that you're awesome and that he just went and
Yeah.
bought your CD if he has money, you know, shit like that.
What was
And he's
that?
a fucking cool guy, man.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of not giving a fuck, what was that band? Shit, we played with them in Warner at the landing there. The guy, they were just crazy. I mean, like the one guy, that Dick Milkman or whatever.
Oh fuck!
What was that band? Oh man, those guys were
Dick
crazy.
Milkman.
Oh,
That's
God.
That was
interesting.
what
Drew was their singer.
fuck, I can't remember the name.
God damn it! If
But
Fluff
they-
hears this, I think he was in that band. He'll be pissed. I can't remember now off the top of my head.
I don't know, but they did not give a fuck, and it was great.
No, their singer Drew, man, he is fucking nuts. He was actually the front man in another band called American Psychosis.
Yeah, that's
And this
right,
was the
yeah.
band that he was in after that.
Yeah.
I wish I could remember
God,
the name.
well-
They were fucking nuts. They actually were doing pretty decent up in the area.
I haven't heard much from him.
He
for
used
a while,
to drink. He used to drink a lot of Jaeger. You know, got himself into some trouble one time, and he straightened himself up, and he was like, you know, getting his life right and being a good man and everything and all that stuff. And they shot a fucking music video for their song, and somebody saw it, and he got arrested because they used a fucking fake gun in the video, and he didn't even touch it. It wasn't even a scene he was in. Probably wasn't even filmed at the same location.
Shit.
And since it was in the music video, they came and got him, and he was gone for a little while after that.
That's
Like,
fucked up.
Shit.
yeah, it was a big deal. It was a shitty thing. But that was that, man. That dude there, though, watching that guy perform, he was like if, trying not to be mean about it. Because if I say it the way I just was getting ready to, it's going to sound like an insult. I wasn't. He's like if you took, like, the crazy lyric style of Surge from System of a Down and added some, like, you know, soul to it, and then at the same time kind of made that with a hybrid of, like, say, a Violent J-esque person, not like a full-on juggalo, but like just saying that kind of like that, you know,
Persona.
that urbanization, I guess you would call it, or that mentality type stuff. That's Drew, and he was really fucking good at what he did. It was so much fun watching that dude, and yeah, he was a cool one to meet. How did we get onto that?
I don't
know.
Something you said reminded me.
It's
of
an
not
early
giving a
Saturday
fuck.
Oh yeah, not giving a no giving a fucks.
Not
Yeah,
giving a
but,
fuck.
like, yeah, man, it's just.
So we're going to come to the tail end of our show here, and the question that is always alluring that people come to hear is, what is your worst hangover?
Oh man.
Yeah, and I always get that reaction.
I forgot to think about it, but I think as soon as I realized it was that time of the show, I think I thought of it.
Let's see.
I'll go first while you
Go
think
first,
yours.
yeah.
I got a DUI when I was 20 one time, and the whole story to it's pretty great. So I mean, well, maybe it's not that great. Maybe it's really bad, but I'm just gonna try to hurry through it. I was 20 and I broke up with my sweetheart, and I was so disturbed and everything sucked, and I suddenly became the guy that drank every day. So like, I went around and would, you know, see my friends and this and that and wait until I found someone who was awake and alert enough to want to ride up to the liquor store and get me a bottle of fucking Captain.
Right.
I'd drain a fifth of Captain and then I'd go to bed.
Yeah, I've been there.
That's how I chewed through the pain of my high school sweetie breaking up.
90% of my previous divorce was spent with the Captain.
So one day, I was feeling extra down and out about myself, and I went and got me a big old bottle of Captain and a fucking big tall can of Arizona grape juice. That was my chaser. Fucking horrible. Drank all that, barfed my guts up. My buddies talked me into going up to the bar with them. I was like, all right, cool. I wasn't old enough to go to the bar. But I was with them, so it didn't matter. I won't name the bar. It doesn't matter. They're not there anymore anyway, but still.
Right.
Oh, excuse me. I got shit-faced. I drank pitcher after pitcher with those guys, keg beer, and I was already drunk when I got there. And I had a bottle of Mad Dog in my truck for a while.
Oh, God.
Yeah, dude. I'm talking like
The
20 years old.
The 2020
That's why
Mad
I
Dog.
drank Mad Dog. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, we all did in our 20s.
I slammed that out in the parking lot, and I told my buddy I was ready to go. We had to go home now, because when that kicked in, I was going to be in a coma. And he wanted to drive. And I wouldn't let him because he didn't have a driver's license, and I was trying to I didn't want him to break the law. So we go to back out of the parking spot, and I slam right into a guardrail and kill my truck, start my truck back up, and we pull out onto the fucking busiest road in town. Got him all the way to his house, and I was like, yeah, let's go inside and eat some pizza. His old lady worked at Pizza Hut. So he got free pizza every day when the buffet closed out. Right. She would bring shit tons of it home. Let's go eat some pizza. He's like, I don't think we have any more. I was like, then I am going to McDonald's. He was like, no, you need to come inside. We'll find you something else to eat. He was like, nope, get out. So I drove up to McDonald's, or I drove up to Motomart, which is right across the street from McDonald's. And I went to get out of my truck, and my fucking seatbelt, the fucking retractor thingy, didn't always work. It would get twisted sometimes. Well, I spun in my seat to get out of my truck, and I hooked my fucking seatbelt and fell right out of my butt, fucking busted my ass right there in front of everybody. Well, the truck was off, and I got up cussing, fucking reeled my goddamn seatbelt back in and shut the door. And I went inside, got some beef jerky and a soda, and the guy that was working, he was a friend of mine. I was like, man, I'm fucking wasted. He's like, yeah, you need to like go home. I was like, I gotta get some McDonald's after I eat this beef jerky. Well,
Well, I left, and as soon as I left and got to the drive-through speaker at McDonald's, there was 2 cops just swarm me. Oh, they were pissed too. Like, shut off your truck, get out. I was like, can I move? And they're like, no, get out. Can I order my cheeseburger? Like, no, get out. Okay. So like they took me over there and they fucking did the thing and they arrested me and I had to call my grandma. And she was so fucking pissed and she came up there to get me out of jail. As soon as she got to the house, she was just, I basically just fell out of her car and started walking to get away because she was so mad at me. And she had called into work the next day. I woke up at 7 that morning the next day and my fucking head felt like somebody just beat me with a sledgehammer. It felt like someone like a split maul just played me open. And as soon as I stood up, I felt it. I was like, oh God, now I'm gonna puke. And I ran straight to the bathroom, and there she was, right there in her fucking chair, just looking at me. I was like, oh God! I ran straight to the bathroom, and from when my grandpa was alive, she had one of the big fucking plastic donuts on the toilet to help him get up and get off or get up and get down from the toilet and all that shit. Well, she never took it off, so when I fucking puked, it hit that and just blew red, sweet hot jerky barf everywhere. And what I drank was kiwi strawberry Mad Dog. So my puke was like the can of this fucking Budweiser can, just and it looked like someone just spit a big ass wad of red, bloody looking chaw everywhere. And all it was so gross. And I fucking puked and I puked and I puked and then I drank.
I think that's the worst part about puking when you're drunk too. Is whatever you ate
I
came
was
up.
so fucking
So then you look
hungover.
at it and you're like, "Fuck, that looks horrible," and then you're like, "That looks disgusting," and more puke.
This was like the point of hangover where you have like a fucking fever. Like you feel your face radiating, and every time like your blood pressure even moves, your head pounds. And so I'm like, ah! And then every time I dry heave, my head was just like, I thought I was gonna die. And I go rinse my mouth out, and brush my teeth and all that, and I go back walking through the living room, and she's like, "How you feel today?" And I was like, "Stop." I was like, "Give me an hour." I chugged a bunch of water and took some ibuprofen, and I went out and faced my medicine.
Yeah.
That hangover lasted about 4.5 days, I think, but before I finally stopped feeling like my insides after I puked and dry heaved for like a half an hour, like I felt like I had just done like a fucking CrossFit or some shit. Like I was torn, everything was torn through here, yeah, my piss was like brown. Alf. It was fucked. That's my worst hangover.
Oh man, I
Eli,
can't
what
even
do
come
you think?
close to that. I don't think. Jeez.
I've had some people on the show that don't drink, so sometimes I get that where I'm like, shit.
Well, I don't know. I don't get a lot of hangovers because, for one, I drink regularly enough and moderately enough that it just doesn't happen.
You didn't have one as like a teenager when you first started drinking, because that's the worst one I ever had.
Yeah.
I've got 2 that stand out on mine. And I've yet to talk about them
I don't
here.
know, man. There's like not. I remember some really shitty times while I was drunk that night, but then
that's a different story there.
The hangover just don't happen that much. There's been a few times where I'll be kind of half hangover, half still drunk.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, well,
Hydration.
open up, better start again.
Fight the snake again. Fight the snake to bit you.
Let's see. But no, I mean, there was one time I can kind of think of in the last, how long ago? Like 3 or 4 years ago. So one of the bars in Effingham was getting ready to close, and we set up this big show. And
For those that don't know, Jess is cracking the fuck up right now.
okay, so so it was like Deep Six and I don't remember who else played. Dr. Orpheus.
Was it Buried in Black? Was it before they split up?
It was it was after.
Was it after they
I
split up?
think because it would have been.
Was it Grays?
It might have been Grays.
That's
Why don't I remember that? No, it was Grays.
That's the show I met Ross at.
It was Grays Divide. It was Grays Divide, Deep Six, Dr. O, and wasn't it Tim's band? Tim Side's band. Anyway.
Oh yeah. That's what it was.
What were they called?
Fucking Crisis King.
I knew that. Crisis King. Yeah. Anyway, Anyway, we set up this big show for one last hurrah, blah, blah, blah. And it's the night before, right? This show was on a Saturday. It's the night before. I felt like I pretty well set it all up. And did the flyers, did all the contacting of everybody, did a lot of promotion on Facebook, blah, blah, blah. And it was the night before, and I was having anxiety about it, like, oh, fuck, you know. But all my work was done. I felt like I could relax. So I go out that night, the night before that show. And I can't even remember where all I went. I started at a couple of bars, and then I think I ended up at some buddy's bonfire party, and at some point I blacked out, you know.
Yeah.
And so I wake up the next morning on somebody's couch. I'm like, oh, fuck, where am I at? I don't even know where I'm at. Whose house am I at? Kind of get up and stumble around and like, fuck. And then I realized I was at my buddy Sean's house, and oh man, what the fuck? What happened, you know? And proceeds to tell me how I got so shit-faced that, you know, I couldn't, they had to like help me into my car, and well, but they wouldn't let me drive. They took my keys and shit. One of my buddies
You can sit in here and admire your stereo, but you're not going any fucking where.
And they drove me over to his house, and I don't know. And then I'm like realizing, oh fuck, I got that show tonight. I gotta get shit ready.
Yeah.
I think I did the sound for that one even, or something like that. And, oh man, it was. And so yeah, it was pretty hungover day. It wasn't like all extreme like Jess's was, but it was rough. And but by the time we got to that show that night, I was feeling a little better. But jeez, man, I was like, fuck, why did I have to do this right before the show? You know, it sucked for a while.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
Oh yeah, that was actually Tim. Every year when that comes up, Tim shares the video and the pictures from me and you and Poe and Deep Six and Seasons.
Yep.
Awesome.
Every
year. Well, guys, I'm glad you made it out. Thank you for making the drive.
Glad we got
to hang out and talk with you. Thank you for the gifts. They gave me a fucking Sons of Cain vinyl, which I was fucking shocked to get.
There's only 2 in existence.
Right?
Thanks for having us, man.
Always,
for
man.
sure.
You guys are always welcome down here. We're glad you guys are fucking in this scene down here with us now. We fucking love hearing you guys play. And fucking keep jamming Boomerang. I especially can't wait for that to be on a damn vinyl or a disc. Or if you want to go back old school and put it on a fucking 8-track, I can play that bitch too.
I think the stuff that, personally, this is just me, I think the stuff that we're currently writing now, is probably going to be a much better definition of what
we are as a group.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's more. This
is more of the
original. It's more. We kind of, this first album had a little bit of stuff that came from here and came from there.
Right.
And
this year's coming right off.
This is like what we are doing now, and
this is officially like the cauldron of our.
Yes.
That's what we kind of touched on earlier. I know you're trying to wrap up, but we kind of touched on it earlier, and he was talking about it. My favorite thing about our band is that there's 5 dudes with, different bands and different influences throughout, like Levi's Megadeth, and like I think all of us are probably Pantera. That's probably the one thing we all share is Pantera.
I would say probably 99% of the scene.
Yeah.
If you've seen our scene, the scene down south, everybody has that Pantera.
Right.
Levi's got Testament and Anthrax or not Anthrax, and probably Anthrax.
Well,
Megadeth and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Slayer and stuff, and Duke's like Mastodon, Slayer, Hank 3, tons of shit, And
right.
Ross has got probably the broadest range of all of us. Cause that dude's heard of stuff that, like the bands that recorded it forgot about, and he still knows it. He lives for music.
Oh yeah.
Really, we've got
we've got a lot of Primus and Tool influence,
Oh, yeah.
and other stuff like that. And I've got my own influences, Zakk Wylde type shit, Slipknot, obviously, Stone Sour, AC/DC. If you hear songs that have an AC/DC feel to it, odds are the ones I was trying to mess with a lot because I grew up on that shit. Twisted Sister. type of negative. You know, that's
I love some type
that's
of
another thing.
Oh.
I think all of us like that too. But,
But yeah, it's a huge variety of
this
shit going
next
into
record, whenever we get a time to, record and mess with that, I think that will show us better than the first one did. The first one was because we wanted to put something out. We wanted to get something together. We had
which
handful
it
of
does pretty
ideas.
good. There's a couple of tracks in particular I think that really represent us, like Almasty. That's one.
I love your album. I brought it home and put it in the
Counterfeit 2.
Counterfeit 2 is probably one.
That was kind of our.
Like I seen you guys play live, and I didn't. There wasn't a lot of viral that I could look at. You guys hadn't had the disc out yet.
Right.
Well, you had the disc out because I bought it at the show, but you guys didn't have it on any social media platforms like Sound.
It was working on its way too.
And I brought it home and I threw it in. I had you guys' and I had Gray's Divides, and because I was from Crapfest, and I had Syraxis' new fucking albums, all three of them, thrown in my fucking changer over there. It holds like 300 discs. And I literally put them on repeat for those 3 albums. It was like, when it got to you guys, I literally sat on the couch and was like, holy fuck balls. Because it just punches. It punches right in the fucking throat.
We appreciate
So
that. We'd like to thank Kyle Bissell from Drift Loud Audio.
Awesome.
He put a lot of work into that.
Let me tell you something.
A lot for this scene right
Oh
now.
yeah.
Kyle is
Like Abaddon just recorded 3 tracks or 4 tracks. Something was it 2?
2 tracks.
2 tracks.
Yeah, 2 tracks in one
They
day.
blow doors off.
He says they came in and fucking got down to business and got out. Ours was a little more laid back. I think we were trying to find our spot as recording artists, and he was trying to streamline his process. So I really think that if we're able to work with him on the next one too, I really think it'll probably sound better, a lot better.
Yeah.
We're happy with it. Don't
Oh
get me
yeah,
wrong.
definitely.
Everything he's touched,
just
like
like-
Grace
just
Divine,
like
you guys'
every other
album,
band,
fucking
His band,
Yeah.
His band,
he's got
he's-
stuff he's done before that too. That's from his own
It's just
personal projects.
it punches, man. He's got such a good technique. Whatever he's doing,
Yeah.
I don't know the fucking recipe, but
He's-
motherfucker don't
Kyle
change it.
wants to make music people want to listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
And he's on his way.
He's
We
good at
changed him. We just recently, like about maybe a month after that Crapfest show, I added him to the website, so people can go directly to the website. You can check it out on there. It's
He's a good dude.
simm-618.com and fucking hit that welcome link and find fucking Drift Loud. Is it Drift Loud Audio? Yeah.
Yes. I'm sure you'll hear about them soon anyway.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as Abaddon gets their stuff all lined out, they're ready for their big reveal. I think people will
Which is
start.
coming up in September.
He did the mix for the new Gray's Divide song too.
Yeah.
Very fucking tight.
Yeah.
He's really
The one they got the video for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grayson State.
Okay, yeah.
Only got
Yeah.
a video for it.
Yeah.
Check it out on YouTube. You're welcome, boys.
Yeah. Make sure you find our shit on Spotify if you don't have access to
Amazon
anything else.
Prime, YouTube, Google Play.
Or get on
Sometimes
our.
just type in
Yeah.
Google, it'll give you an option.
If you happen to be listening across the pond, there's some streaming service over there. Ross got us on. I can't remember. Deezer, I think is what it's called. That kind of stuff. But anyway, we're taking up the time. I got to piss in a race.
All right, Sons of Cain, thank you for fucking being here. I love you guys.
Thank you for having us.
This is Baldy.
Thanks a lot, man.
Fucking love you guys.
Check us
Peace.
out on Facebook.
Later.
Later.
You can try to hide, but it won't do no good. see.